that is giving the freedom, giving the liberties of this great nation to the same immigrants that we all once were. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Brian. First of all, I want to thank Progress Ohio for bringing all of us together. Many of us, as Brian mentioned, have been working on this for a very long time. I started out on immigration reform when I was a member of Columbus City Council. Back in 2006, the National League of Cities put together a task force on immigration reform, and we came up with a comprehensive piece of legislation that we were advocating for Congress to pass. Comprehensive, once again, just as we're talking about today. As a member of Columbus City Council, I advocated for council as a city that embraced the diversity of our people and wanted all of us to fully be engaged in all that the city of Columbus has to offer, to pass a resolution to advocate, again, for comprehensive immigration reform. As a member of the Ohio Senate, I am advocating even today with my friends in the House and the Senate on our Tuition Equity Act, which would be the state's version of the DREAM Act. Again, we want everyone to be included in all systems that we have to offer in the United States and here in the state of Ohio. We need comprehensive immigration reform so that all of those who are working in our employment centers, in our manufacturing centers, in our fruit and vegetable and farming community, in our education institutions, to be fully incorporated as citizens in the United States and in the state of Ohio. It's important for us to take a look at what the state of Ohio is doing to negatively impact on those who are paying their taxes, working in our businesses, and helping to grow the economy of the state of Ohio. We don't need to put up barriers, such as barriers that the Bureau of Motor Vehicles has, where those who are working every day, who pay their taxes, and federal law allows that if they have a Social Security card and are working, that they can in fact get a driver's license. So we want to be fair to all of the residents of the state of Ohio and hope that they can become citizens as early as possible. I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Representative Dan Ramos out of Lorraine, to share some comments as well.
Thank you very much. My name is Dan Ramos. I'm the representative from the 56th District in Western Lorraine County. It's an honor to be here with you today and to follow my dear good friend, Senator Tavares, who has truly been a leader on this issue for many years. You know, Brian touched on this, but according to a number of polls from a number of very credible agencies, Washington Post, ABC, Fox News, Quinnipiac, a majority of Americans do believe that establishing a pathway to citizenship is their preferred method, is what they would like their government to do. And because of this, part of what I want to do today, and what I think we all want to do, is call on our friends in Congress to adhere to the duty that all of us elected officials have, which is to represent the best interest of the citizens and to listen to the citizens they represent. This is clearly what the American people want, what the majority of the American people want, and I think it's important that we do move forward in a bipartisan manner in the United States Congress to adhere to the will of the people. It is quite simply our first duty as elected officials, and it's very important that we do. You know, because these folks, our people, want this to happen. And why wouldn't they? You know, by establishing a pathway to citizenship, we're welcoming hardworking, devoted people who want to be part of this great nation. These aspiring citizens are already contributors to our country and want to be able to work hard and contribute as much as the rest of us are able to do. I think that's very important. And the people of this country believe in our founding documents, in the spirit of this nation, and where all of our great wealth and our great prosperity comes from, the American ideals, that all people are created equal. That's why I think it's so very important that we do this in such a way that creates a pathway to citizenship, so there are no first-class and second-class groups of people in this country. We're all created equal. We're all immigrants. Whether first generation, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. We're all immigrants to this country, one way or the other, except for the native peoples, of course, and I think we should all be treated equally. Now, the majority of this work does have to be done at the federal level. We acknowledge that, and that's why we're calling upon our friends in Congress to do everything they can in a bipartisan manner. But we in the state government do have responsibilities as well. It's very troubling right now that aspiring citizens whom the federal government have said have, can be here through the deferred action are being denied the ability to get a driver's license. A very simple thing that the state can do to assure that they can do what they need to do to be contributing to our society, to get to work, to raise their families and do everything that every one of us is required to do. And we're asking for this ability to not only occur, but also some consistency. We're hearing reports all over the state that in some cases they're being accepted, in some cases the driver's licenses are being granted, in some cases they're being denied. I'm told recently some folks have been denied and then they show up with a lawyer and a reporter and some TV cameras or a newspaper reporter or whatever, and in the light of public scrutiny, then they get their driver's license. Now, that shouldn't be necessary. I can tell you when I got my driver's license last time a couple of years ago, I didn't bring my attorney with me. I didn't have to pay that expense. I didn't have to go through that trouble. And I think we need to make certain that we in this state do this. I'm glad to hear that Attorney General DeWine, at least at his first blush, and it was reported recently in the Dispatch, I believe, that he doesn't see a problem with this. I'm hoping that the administration will work through whatever problems they have and take care of this at that level. And if that's not possible, it is something we may have to deal with at the legislative level. But I'm hoping that the administration can follow the Attorney General's advice, follow his opinion as basically the chief law enforcement officer of our state, and go with that. I'd also like to very briefly, throw my support and speak about the important works that Senator Tavares is doing with the tuition equity bill. I think this fits very well in line with the sea change in the thinking that we're having about our higher education system here in Ohio. Governor Kasich's new plan through the budget, and that was based on a commission of all of the university and college presidents, chaired by Dr. Gordon Gee of the Ohio State University, my alma mater, talked about looking at education, higher education, in a new light. Looking at it in a way not just to educate our citizens, our Ohio residents, but also to attract the best and brightest from around the country and around the world so they can learn in Ohio and hopefully stay in Ohio, make Ohio a better place. I think in order to achieve that lofty goal, which I think is a dynamic and a good goal to set us forward as a leader in this country, we need to make certain we're welcoming all people, regardless of when they showed up or when what line their parents walked them across when they were 2 years old. I think if these folks want to stay in Ohio and want to contribute to Ohio, learn in Ohio, and earn in Ohio, and then pay some taxes in Ohio, I think we need to make certain that this bill is something that becomes a reality, and I do want to throw my support behind it, definitely, in the House. With that, I'm honored to be here, and Brian will introduce the next